Today, we're going to give you 4 players that we just absolutely cannot stop drafting. We love them at their ADP or even above their ADP. Dak, who's our first player?
First player, this is, we think, the single best pick that you can make in your fantasy football drafts this season. That's Rashee Rice. Right now, his ADP is at like the end of the sixth, beginning of the seventh. That's just, it's way too low for him. And we know the offseason drama that's happened with Rashee Rice. If you followed our Dynasty content, you know that we're really big on his price in Dynasty. We're really big on his price in redraft as well.
Mm-hmm.
The suspension at this point, late August, it's not
I
coming.
don't think it's going to happen,
It's
no.
not happening. At least not this season.
And this ADP is almost baking in that suspension. It's not going to happen.
Yes, it's baking this suspension that's not happening, and
Mm-hmm.
it's never recovered because people, I guess, are just they still think it's not
Yeah.
happening.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to get the suspension out of our mind. That's not happening. And when you think about Rashee Rice, like that Super Bowl run that went on that
Mm-hmm.
last year, when he was getting more targets than Travis Kelce, he was the number one option in that offense. There was a lot of hype around him, and then obviously that all died down.
Mm-hmm.
We're still hyped on him. We're very
Mm-hmm.
excited for Rashee Rice and what he can do. We're drafting him probably like fourth, fifth round
Mm-hmm.
of our drafts. Like he's the number one option in that offense. You know, they got Worthy there, who's
Mm-hmm.
fine. Rookie, Travis Kelce getting older. Like there's other people in that offense, but I think the guy in that offense to go to draft is Rashee Rice.
Yeah, I think Rashee Rice is a fantastic pick, anywhere from like the mid fourth and later. Like, if you have a pick there, I would most likely say he is the draft pick. You need to stop thinking of Rashee Rice as a criminal and think of him as the number one target in the entire Kansas City Chiefs offense, because that is what he is. He also might be a criminal, but we don't care. So our second player that we absolutely cannot stop drafting is Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray goes like a 6-7 turn, and that's where we're taking him. We're not going to take him anywhere above that, but we just love his value there. Kyler Murray is a quarterback that we think could easily finish as the QB1 overall this year. He's shown flashes in years where he's been the QB1 for periods. He has insane rushing upside. We think the offense is going to be probably the best it's ever been, with Marvin Harrison coming in, Trey McBride with his breakout last year. Like, it's just going to be a fun offense. Kyler rushes the ball better than almost any quarterback in the league. The upside's insane. Dak, anything about Kyler?
Yeah, I mean, I was tempted to say, best offense you've ever had because you've had offenses in the past with DeAndre Hopkins there. Cliff Kingsbury was decent enough as a play caller, but I think it definitely has potential. It's a really good
Mm-hmm.
offense, and Kyler Murray coming off that ACL injury, I think he's ready to go this year. He's going to get back to running the
Mm-hmm.
football a lot, and he's got good weapons to throw the football to as
Yeah.
well. So I definitely good. He's a good fantasy quarterback. He
Mm-hmm.
always has been. And he gets back to that
Yeah.
this year for sure.
And when you compare him to the other quarterbacks ADPs, like CJ Stroud, who's going like 1 to 2 rounds ahead of him, I don't have Kyler and CJ Stroud almost straight up in a 4-point passing touchdown league. Like, and he's going like 3 rounds behind Anthony Richardson. Like, it's almost the same to me. Like,
Yeah, Kyler, he's proven it in the
he's
past,
safer for
and
sure.
there's so much like Kyler Murray is definitely a recipient of that. Just so much hate for the Call of Duty stuff or injuries, whatever. Like his actual talent gets overshadowed so much.
Mm-hmm.
He's a really safe bet, I think, at the ADP. I think there's a decent chance he outplays the ADP that
Oh,
you're getting him at.
definitely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just a really really good guy. If you don't end up with CJ Stroud who goes earlier, like Kyler Murray, perfect.
Yep.
Perfect quarterback for
Yep.
your team. So next, guys, this is actually two players baked into one take that we like at their ADP is Trey McBride and Dalton Kincaid. They're going around like the 4 or 5 turn. Just we like them at that ADP and at that turn more than like Laporta and Travis Kelce that are going at the end of the second, beginning the third. We think you're probably getting like at least 95% of
Yeah.
production that those guys are doing, and why would you take that
Mm-hmm.
2 rounds earlier? We'd much rather have McBride, who we just talked about with Kyler Murray, good quarterback throwing the football, a really good player in his own right, and then Dalton Kincaid, ton of vacated targets up there in Buffalo.
Yep.
It's anybody's to take, especially Josh Allen throwing the
Mm-hmm.
football. Very exciting spots for them this season. And like I said earlier, I don't understand why you would take the Laporta and Kelsey 2 rounds earlier than these guys.
Mm-hmm.
They honestly McBride less so, but I think they both had the potential to be like the number one target getter in their offense just because,
Yeah, absolutely.
Buffalo has nobody at
Yeah,
the
I mean, I
receiving
think
core.
McBride's probably second in targets behind Marv. And if you're a tight end, you're getting second most targets in your team. That's fantastic. Kincaid genuinely could be the number one target getter in a fantastic Buffalo offense.
Yeah, they're really young, like learning position. Obviously, we know
Mm-hmm.
with tight ends, for the most part, except for Laporta last year, they don't understand it. They don't get the position. They don't fully grasp it when they first get in the
Mm-hmm.
league. It takes them a couple years. Obviously, McBride going into year three, the end of last year was very good for him. Colton
Mm-hmm.
Kincaid, he finished out the year really well last year. Now going into year two, another year of learning the tight end position. I think it's going to do wonders for them, and I think they're really good bets at their ADP.
Yep, love them there. Our last player today is going to be James Cook. Now, he goes in the fourth round. I like him in the fourth round. I think that's exactly where I want to take him. The fourth round is kind of the start of the dead zone for the running back position. And there's not many running backs here that we like. You have your Joe Mixon, your James Connors, your Aaron Jones. We don't like any of those guys really, but James Cook is someone that I cannot stop drafting because in the fourth round, the upside there is just it's insane, right? You're getting someone he might like get second most targets in the Buffalo offense because there's no wide receivers to throw the ball to, right? He's going to get a ton of receptions. He's going to rush the ball like crazy. His like line for his rushing and receiving yards this year is like 1,300 something. That's an insane number. And I wouldn't be surprised if he goes over that. I wouldn't be surprised if he leads the league in terms of running back receptions either. Like he just has so much upside. He's going to get the ball a ton. He's a very efficient player. He's a good player. The only thing that's holding him back a little bit is the touchdown upside. But I think it's baked into his price. I think he's right now being based on just being a like in between the 20s type of running back, and that's what you're getting him. But he has upside to be even more if he can just get a couple goal line touches. We saw him last year; he got a couple goal line touches last year, and he didn't do well with them, but he can maybe do better this year. It's pretty lucky, I think, if you like get him from the one.
Yeah, I think like you said, if he were to end up with like 7 touchdowns, like
Oh my god, he would
he
smash.
destroys his ADP. I like you said, he's a very solid player. He just needs to clean up the fumbling issues, which I think then in turn the coaching staff would trust him even more than they already did last year. Because once they promoted Joe Brady to OC, they really started to lean on James Cook and they ran the football a lot more,
Mm-hmm.
which did wonders for that Buffalo offense in general. So I think it's more of the same this year. Like you said, in between the 20s, he's producing a ton. They don't really have any of the running backs, in that backfield. Any running back, it's probably just getting the goal line work and it's going to Josh Allen.
Yeah.
So, like, no one's taking that in between 20s,
Mm-hmm.
third down work. That's all going to be James Cook because he's by far the best running back in that backfield. He's
Mm-hmm.
very good running back.
Yeah, and like I said, like there's not a whole lot of running backs from like the third, like end of the third to like the seventh round that we like. He's one of like three that we consider drafting. So he's someone that like I end up drafting a lot just because of where he's going and the upside that he has.
Yeah.
So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.